Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We are here for a bunny update again. These guys are just over 3 weeks old and they're going that way. And we have Tequila on the other side of the bed. So we're going to go this way. And keep an eye on the babies. Whiskey, you're seriously in my way. So we had kind of a weird thing happen with the bunnies this week. Do not jump. Good girl, Tequila. Do not jump off the edge. But so we had kind of a weird thing happen with the bunnies this week. Because what actually happened, is we had 3, okay? Everybody knows we had 3 babies. We had started with 4. One was a peanut and passed away. So we had 3. So last week when I was filming the bunnies, I mentioned that one bunny was feeding. Yes, there's Keela. But I mentioned that one bunny was feeding while these 2 were running around. That was because Mama, Libra, didn't want to feed him if these 2 were around. So that's actually not that big a deal. I know it sounds like a big deal, but it's really not, because rabbits only feed a couple times a day from their moms. So it's not really that big a deal. All I had to do was twice a day, I would just take these 2 out, let them run around, and they could go have a lot of fun. And then Mama would feed the other one. However, what's happened in the intervening week is Mama stopped feeding them at all. Stopped feeding him specifically. Would still feed these 2, but wouldn't feed the other one, even if I took them out. So that's a problem, because at 3 weeks old, they still very much need their mother. So, what was I going to do? Well, I could feed the baby by hand myself, or, and it's important to note, that this bunny, not these 2, the one that is not here, was pre-sold. I've got a really good friend who really wanted a Libra baby. Yes, there's some babies. Keela's watching the babies for me. Don't let the baby fall. I want the baby to stay up. But so, I have a really good friend who is a rabbit expert. She's also a breeder, and she really wanted a Libra baby. She picked that one when they were a week old. She didn't care whether it was a boy or girl. She really liked that one. So, just to refresh your memory, the one I'm talking about had dark ears like this one, but more color on the back like that one. So it's kind of a mix between the 2. And that was her favorite. She didn't care whether it was a boy or girl. That's the one she wanted. That's fine. So I contacted her and I let her know that this was happening and I could bottle feed him. And she said, you know what? Why don't I take him now and I'll bottle feed him. And if that bunny falls off, we're going to be annoyed. Stay on there. So, what we did is she said she would take him. And I said, okay. She has bottle fed before. And it's not going to be very long. It's only going to be like another 10 days or so. And then he'll be fine. He just needs formula for just a few more days. And then he'll be fine. They just need their mama's milk. And in this case, this guy will need formula. So he's not here anymore. That was my long-winded explanation for why there's only the 2 of them. There's not a 3rd one in the cage behind me. You're not going to see a 3rd one on video. I've only got these 2 right now. Because he went to his new home already. Now, let me be very clear. 3 weeks is too early to rehome your bunnies. The only reason I did that is because his mama wasn't feeding him. And that's no good. His mama wasn't feeding him. This baby's going to jump off. Keela, can you watch both of them? You're focusing on one. Help me herd them both. Yeah, good girl. Yeah, they're good bunnies. So, it was really, really important that he get the care he needed. It is not appropriate to rehome bunnies at 3 weeks old. They are too young. Hi, baby. They are too young for that. Yes, girl. Good Tequila. But they are way too young for that. You absolutely cannot rehome your bunnies at 3 weeks old. They still need their mama. The only reason we did it was because his mama wasn't feeding him. He was going to need some bottle feeding. And she's an experienced rabbit owner. She has fed rabbits before by bottle. So that is the only reason. It's really important you don't rehome your bunnies at that age. Anyway, moving on to updating how these guys are doing. Obviously fantastic. They're quite crazy. I'm going to go climb in the pillows. They're quite crazy, quite beautiful. They're doing really well. At this age, what you're doing is you want to give them lots of time to run around, which is what we're doing. Obviously, they run around here. They run around the living room. usually under Tequila's supervision. And yes, they're perfectly safe with Tequila. Do not jump off. They're perfectly safe with Tequila. We don't have to worry about her eating them or anything like that. I've had questions. It's totally fine. Whiskey's over there. And Vodka's sleeping in the living room, I think. No, he's not. He's sleeping in the chicken area. I can see him through the window. And he's outside. I don't know who let him outside. It wasn't me. Doesn't matter. So, yes, they're doing fantastic. They're having a great little time. At this age, what you're doing is still letting mama look after them, but you want to make sure they're getting plenty of exercise. So if you are keeping them in a small enclosure for litter box training and stuff like that, which I am right now, they're in a fairly small area. But if you are going to keep them in a smaller area, do make sure they can run around and have a good time and get a lot of their energy out and stretch their little legs. Because they might be little, but they need to be able to have fun. So when your rabbits are 3 weeks old, they still need mama. But they also need exercise, and frankly, mama could use a break from them, because now is when they start getting kind of crazy. So when they're kind of crazy, mama's going to want a break. So it's okay to take them out of the cage for a few hours at a time. They don't need her 100%. They only really need her about every 12 hours or so. So it's absolutely okay to even separate them a little bit, because these guys are absolutely bonkers, and they are driving her a little bit nuts. So it's okay to take the babies away a little bit. Just don't rehome them yet. They're not quite old enough to manage on their own. They still need their mama. And yes, we still have the helicopter ears going on. Remember, these are Holland lops, so it's normal for their ears to be flopping like that. They won't be fully flopped yet because they're not long enough or heavy enough yet. So you'll see everyone's ears are a little more flopped than they were last time. And as time goes on, they will flop even more. And here's Tequila again. She loves the babies. Yes, people have wondered, how is Tequila so good with them? You've got to raise your livestock guardians with the small animals. Yes, you can come up. You can come up with the babies or no? No, you're going to stay on the ground? That's fine. Whatever you want. Doesn't matter. But, so that is how our bunnies are doing this week. I hope you enjoyed catching up with them. Hopefully, next week they'll look even cuter. And then they start turning into adult rabbits. And frankly, they're at their cutest at about 3 to 4 weeks of age. So this is when you want to get all your bunny videos in. Yeah, because this is when they're super cute. Especially the lups because of those ears. Look at those ears. Look at those ears, baby. Anyway, that is about it for us here today in Andersen Acres. We'll see you tomorrow.